All right, so significant figures basically is different to rounding. So let's look at a quick example of something that we want to find the significant figures of. It's all about the zeros. So let's suppose I've got a number like 136. There's 3 digits over here, so that's going to be 3 significant figures. Okay? If I've got the number 84, that's going to be 2 significant figures. If I've got the number 4873, that's going to be 4 significant figures. It's pretty simple, right? Okay. Now, what if I have a number 401? There's a zero in the middle, but because the zero is surrounded by numbers on either side, we're saying that these are non-zero numbers. We count all three, so we say all three numbers are significant, so this would be 3 significant. If I've got the number 5004, all 4 digits are also going to be significant, so it will be 4. What if I have 83040? Now here, we have to just be careful because significant figures here says only if the zero is between two non-zero numbers, then it's significant, which means that this is not significant. And that means that this is going to be, if I've got the zero on the end of the number, it's going to be 4 significant figures. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. We'll do a quick example of a roundup at the end. Suppose I have 1000. The zeros at the end of the number is not significant, so that will be 1 significant figure. If I've got 900, that's 1 significant figure. If I've got 200, but now I put a decimal point in there. The moment I put a decimal point in there, and I physically put it there, then it suddenly becomes significant, and the zeros matter now.
And what happens to the numbers after the decimal point?
So the numbers after the decimal point, if it's 0, then it's not significant. So for example, if I've got something like so if you got a number like 300.0, then in this case here, it's going to be the 0 after this makes this all significant, which means this is 4 significant figures. Okay. So the only time it's not significant is when you have numbers on the left-hand side of the decimal in between numbers. Okay. Let's look at a few more examples like this. Suppose I've got the next one. I have a number like 75,020 with a decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures for this one. If I've got 760,000 and 60.00, again, the decimal exists. We count all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to be 7 significant figures. If I've got 0 now, in this case, 0.0273, then in this case here, these 3 values over here are going to be significant, but those are not significant. So when the zeros come before a number and there's a decimal, then it's not significant. So in this case here, it will be 3 significant figures. But if the zeros come after the numbers and there's a decimal, then it is significant. It's not significant if it comes before, but it is significant if it comes after a number when you have a decimal.
Yeah.
All right. Then let's suppose I got 0.003009. So remember here we gotta remember which ones are significant, which ones are not significant. So the numbers that are before are going to be not significant. The numbers that are significant are the numbers after, in which case this is going to be 4 significant figures. All right. Keeping that in mind and building on that same idea, let's look at the next part. Let's suppose I have a few questions like this. Let's say the first one is 0.045. Again, this would be 2 significant figures. If I've got 475.18, then that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. Okay. All right. Now, sometimes they ask you to round the numbers. They ask you to round the numbers, and they want you to round it to a certain amount of significant figures. So let's say I want to round the number 8,736.54 to one significant figure. That means I have to make each of these numbers 0, which means it will become 8,000. No, it will become 9,000 because I have to round up. If I round it to 2 significant figures, then I got to look at the first 2 decimals. That means it will be 8,700. If I round it to 3 significant figures, it's going to be 8,740 because the 6 is greater than 5. If I have 4 significant figures, then I'm going to go all the way till there and try and get 4 numbers in there, in which case it will be 8737. And if I've got 5 significant figures, then I got to go all the way till there, and that will become 8736. And this one will actually stay at 7.0. And the zeros afterwards matter. They count. Okay, so there's a bit of rounding in there as well. So we're going to do a full round of significant figures. Let's look at another number here. Let's see if you can try this one here now, right? I give you the number 276.3012, and I want you to round it to one significant figure, 2, 3, 4, and 5 quickly. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah.
All right. So 276.3012 to one significant figure means that you have to look at the first number and then look at the number after that, which is greater than 5. So that's going to become 300.
Yeah.
Cool. 2 significant figures. We now look at those 2. Then we look at this number. If it's greater than 5, yes it is. So this is going to be between 280. And then 3 significant figures will be 276 after we look at the 3. And then 4 significant figures, we look at the 0, 276.3. And then 5 significant figures, we look at the 6th value, which is 1. So 276.30. Because the 1 is less than 5.
Oh, yeah.
And that's 5.
No, but won't that be only 5 because the last number is 0?
So if we go back to our previous example, let's quickly double check that. So when we had questions where we had after, when the 0 is at the end, it is significant.
Oh.
All right, but it's only when the zeros are before that they're not significant, right? When it comes to decimals. So this one is after, so it'll be significant. Okay, keeping that in mind now, let's go to another one, and let's say this one here is now as a decimal. Okay, so let's suppose you got 0.047083. You want to round this to one significant figure, two significant figures, three significant figures, and four. Okay, give it a go, try it. Press pause, try it, see if you can get it, and when you're done, press play. Alright, so let's go through each of these now. So now, when we rounding, remember the zeros that are at the end are significant. Alright, and the ones that are before are not. So let's go to so one significant figure means that we have to now include those three numbers there because that's not significant immediately. So that's going to be 0.04. These values are significant already. Okay, on around to 2 now, 2 is going to be going all the way till there. That'll be 0.047. 3 is going to be going all the way till there, 0.0470. Now remember, not significant, but 0 at the end is significant when it comes to decimal. And then 4 values would go all the way to 8, 0.04708. And that would be to that. Okay. All right, let's go to the next example. 300. If I want to round it to two significant figures, right, I can also, it's basically, actually, yeah, if I'm rounding to two significant figures, then I've got to have it as 3.0 times 10 to the power of 2. In which case, this is now standard notation. So this is going to be two significant figures, and it means the same thing. If I write it to one significant figure, it'll be 3 times 10 to the power of 2. That's one significant figure. And it's already at 3 significant figures at the moment. Okay. So that's when you have to just bring it into standard notation. So let's say I've got the number 70,000. I want to round it to one significant figure using standard notation, two significant figures, three significant figures, and four significant figures using standard notation. One significant figure would be if I take that and count it out 7 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I got two significant figures, then it will be 7.0 times 10 to the power of 4. Now, yeah, looking at this, I mean, what you're noticing is that the next one's going to be 7.00 times 10 to the power of 4, which means that I'm technically just simply
adding 0.
That's it. And the 10 to the power of 4 is remaining exactly the same all the way through. All right.